Inflammation was blocking me from losing anything, but I don't feel swollen anymore. I have taken a measurement on my waist and I've lost about 1.5 inches. I joined the Masters swim team. I haven't gotten to swim for decades. I had autoimmune disorder. Now my shoulders don't hurt at all. I've never been able to swim laps without my shoulders hurting.
Hi, Leslie. It's so good to have you here today. And this is going to be your video testimony. This is Lori Blue, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. And Leslie has some great healing responses to her program that we've been working together. And I wanted her to tell you more about what's going on. And first of all, I'd like to ask, what has inspired you to reach out and book a call with me to support your health journey?
Well, I've been dealing with severe autoimmune for going on probably 15, 16 years. I had a root canal pulled, the tooth taken out. And so about 4 years ago, and I had plateaued. The healing, that spurred a lot of healing, but that plateaued. And actually, my husband heard you on the Dr. Kilt's Carnivore Conversations podcast because we had gotten into carnivore probably about 3 months before we heard you, and he sent me your podcast and I listened to it and was impressed. The fact that you work personally with all of your clients and that you are specializing with women, especially women over 50. And that's me. I think we have special issues that need special help and attention. That's why I chose you.
Thank you. Well, I'm so glad that you're getting results. Why don't you go ahead and talk about the results? We got some really quick results in just 6 weeks. So go ahead and explain what's going well and what we resolved so that you've got your life back, because you had some big issues, but just dialing in specific things made a big difference for you.
Yes. I would say I was at a point where I had some energy, but any kind of overexertion or illness or I ate something wrong would set me back and I would go underwater, as I put it. That's how it felt to me. So I was barely treading water when we started our journey together. I would say that the biggest results have been the energy, not just physical, but brain energy. I would say that I was depressed much of the time. And even when I didn't think I was depressed, I think I was depressed. It's funny how that sneaks up on you. And there's a lot of anxiety. So I pretty much got that back, like you said, pretty quickly in the first 6 weeks or so. I wouldn't say it was consistent yet.
Right.
At that point. There's a lot of ups and downs in the process. And so it's a lot, and it's not fun a lot of times, but it's definitely worth it. Like I said, I'd been trying to heal since I got that tooth pulled 4 years ago, and without the testing and without knowing specifically what to.
What do you feel with the labs was there's many areas to it because we did run 6 diagnostic labs and there was a lot of good healing information to address. So we started off with the MRT, and even though you were carnivore, there was still some room to correct food sensitivities. But with the HTMA, it seemed like there was a lot of good healing response from that. What did you feel was really powerful with the HTMA that's really made a big difference for you with your energy and adrenals?
So that's the minerals, right? Yeah. Just figuring out deficiencies, hydration. I had very, very low potassium, very, very high sodium, but I wasn't absorbing the sodium. So I don't know exactly how that worked, but
yeah, it's
you
kind of an
explained
inflammatory
how
process
it
where it
works.
just throws it up and out of the body. So potassium was too low in balance to the sodium.
Right. Just knowing what the deficiencies were and where to work on getting those.
That dehydration
out.
was a big healing response for you.
Yes,
That
it
was
was.
really, really powerful.
So the other tests, did you want me to talk about that?
Sure, go ahead, jump in and
They
see
were
and let me know what.
key finding out that I had H. pylori. So without that, I would have never gotten better without knowing that was blocking absorption of minerals, even the minerals I was drinking. Even trying to drink that potassium drink, if you recall, it made me nauseous without some kind of enzyme to help break it down. So I was very blocked in my absorption. And without the testing, I would have never gotten better.
Yeah. And you even had like afternoon fatigue and afternoon headaches that hit at the same time. And
Yes.
we were able to even address that. Would you like to talk about that process as well?
Yeah, that was a
Because that
key.
was huge for you to getting
When
your life back.
Exactly. When you said the aha moments, that's one of them that I thought of. And you and I working together and trying to figure out what was going on in the afternoons. I'd have a severe headaches every afternoon. And the key there was the hormones. So the
Mhm.
hormone testing that you did helped us figure out that the cortisol was dipping too low in the afternoons. So we used the ketones and licorice to help that correct.
Right. And you felt so
I,
immensely better with that.
yeah,
And it's
and I,
interesting too, because even with the Dutch cortisol levels, I can look at the adrenals and somebody could react that way and other people might not react that way. So there's basically going by your main complaints as well to address what's happening, even with the lab works, is part of that kind of detective work that we did together. It takes two people to do that because it's like you just looking at it, you wouldn't have figured out what was going on. You'd been dealing with that for so long. Putting all those pieces together, we can kind of determine what was going on.
right.
Yeah, it's pretty
It
cool.
did take both of us.
You even lost some weight. I remember you losing at least 10 pounds of inflammatory weight. And I know that's been a kind of fluctuating with muscle
Mhm.
gain. So talk about
Definitely.
that too. Like, how did that feel? As slender as you really already are, to lose
Mhm.
that 10 pounds of inflammatory fat, which definitely took a burden off your liver.
Yeah, it can be a little frustrating because I think I should lose weight. Everybody else loses weight on the keto. So I think it's inflammation that was blocking me from losing anything, but I don't feel swollen anymore. And that was probably the biggest complaint that I had. Not so much that I felt overweight, I just
Right.
felt swollen and
Mm.
uncomfortable in that way. But my shape is changing and my weight's not necessarily changing.
I love that. Body
But
composition all the way.
I know I'm building muscle and I have taken a measurement on my waist because I read somewhere that's a good thing to do. You're just changing composition and not weight. So I started doing that and I've lost about an inch and a half
Oh
on
my gosh.
weight.
Yeah, you hadn't mentioned that. That must be new. That's cool. Inch and a half.
So that
Good
was, yeah.
job.
And my clothes fit better and overall comfort level for sure.
Really good. So many good health processes that have been happening and that you've been able to reclaim. So, how do you feel this very moment? You filled out some client intake forms and you were talking about how you felt. Go ahead and just kind of reiterate all of that because it just makes my heart so excited to know that your mood is good, you're happy, and things are going well. Important. A lot of women come to me because they just don't feel good. They feel swollen, their face looks swollen. You've got all that inflammation around your face and your neck, and you just don't look as beautiful as you could feel. And you want the weight loss. But underneath, like you said, that 10 pounds of weight that you lost pretty quickly was inflammatory weight and the swollen from what was going on in your body. Everybody just wants to feel better and be happy. And you struggled for 16 years at least with the H. pylori. And I know we didn't bring it up, but the candida in your body, the fungus, the autoimmune
Mhm.
bacteria that you're
Leaky gut.
still working, leaky gut. I know people may not understand high indican and total bile acids, but everything is elevated, showing a struggling liver, which you're currently going through because you wake up between 1 to 3 in the morning, which is liver stress. But your
Yeah.
body has, we've been dialing it all in. You're taking everything you needed to get your body to naturally detox. The protocol that you've designed or created for you is working for your body to naturally detox. And you got your life back though. You're happy again. You got that smile back. And you couldn't even move and exercise before without having a headache. So
Yeah.
you're doing all of this and you're getting all of that. So that does light up my heart.
I joined the Masters swim team.
Yeah, that is
I
so
haven't
cool.
I haven't gotten to swim for decades.
Yeah.
I was a competitive swimmer when I was younger and I had tendonitis. And I truly believe that was the start of my autoimmune disorders. Now my shoulders don't hurt at all. I've never been
Nice.
able to swim laps without my shoulders hurting.
Oh my gosh. Right. And you know what we did with your customized nutrition is bringing in the immunotherapy, perfect aminos, the amino acid therapy specifically designed for what you needed. And you noticed how much energy it gave you every time you
Yes.
used it. And
Yes.
when we get the right amino acid therapy, not only does it help neurologically, but it helps your body detox and it helps you build muscle. And being on a carnivore diet and getting the right nutrition, all of these things that we've been designing for your body that you've been working on, you've been such a good advocate following exactly what you needed to do based on how your body felt, which
Mm,
then we would talk about weekly to course correct, which took away all the headaches and all of that low cortisol issues. Because the more I educated you and we understood what was going on, it was
yeah.
like, oh my God, this is what's happening. And that can be so exciting to know and to open up those windows so that you get that hope. So that you know you can make these changes. And once you started feeling like now you mentioned energy is good enough to be physically active every day and to work and do
Yeah.
your business that you
Yeah.
share with your husband. That's
Yeah.
huge. You
Yeah.
know, because we want to be able to have that passion and pull something into our lifestyle over 50, over 60 to
Yeah.
stay active because that's what's going to help us keep our bone mass and our muscle mass. Like I've taken up tennis, which just makes me feel excited. And I love hiking
Mhm.
and walking and all of those things helps me tune into what I want to do for my body.
Yeah.
And I think that's just so cool.
I've even been golfing with Anthony for a
Oh
few.
my gosh, golfing too is so
Yeah,
cool.
it's kind of fun
Just
getting
working
better.
together. We've been together for 6 months now, and you know, there's still healing opportunities to do, and we're dialing it and retesting and
Mhm.
optimizing even as we go. So there's so many things that you can choose. And often, you know, I like to state because often people just don't realize they can feel better. You didn't know how depressed you were. You didn't know what you should feel like. You've been living like that for 16 years. We
Oh,
get
wow.
used to it. We're in survival mode. We've got
Yeah.
to take care of kids. We've got to do the business, be there with the husband, take care of the house and you don't even realize how tense you are
Mhm.
and that you're living subpar. I like to mention that there is just so many solutions that we can create when we use the labs. And there can be, you know, run 3 labs, still get information, but run all 6 labs. We find so many healing opportunities.
Oh, and the food sensitivity test. I
It's,
didn't bring that up. I thought
yeah, it's still
that's huge.
huge. It's
Mm.
huge because even for myself, I didn't know that my asthma was related to a dairy sensitivity because that creates mucus. And a
Yeah.
lot of people will keep dairy in, even though they take out a lot of the other stuff, you're not going to get the true healing effect that you need.
I was eating cucumbers and avocado, and those things are supposed to be good for you. They're on my high sensitivity list. So I had no idea they were causing all kinds of havoc. You know,
Right, right.
I wasn't 100% carnivore. I'd call it carnivore.
Ketovore, kind of ketovore.
Ketovore, yeah. And now I'm not 100% either because
Well, it's not
we're
that we need
doing
to
some
be one
things
thing or
for
another. It's like,
no,
what does your body need for the
right.
healing that you need? How do we need to nourish our gut with what bacteria are we nourishing? How are
Mhm.
we minding our mitochondria so that the body functions? And food needs to be customized per the food sensitivity test, per the mineral test, per all the lab work to see what's going on, and then correlated with how you feel and
Yeah,
what's making you feel sick or giving you clarity in your
yeah,
day with the food that you're eating and then
yeah.
breaking it all down.
That's why labels aren't very helpful.
Right. No, I don't think so because it can change too. You can feel one way one time, and then all of a sudden that food may not be doing you a service, and then you take a break on it. And that's the thing with food sensitivities is, you know, at some point there'll be less immune memory on it, and you might be able to bring it back, but then again, you may not be. And so that's where we challenge. And so it's all customized, it's never permanent. It just depends on what your body needs. And so what you're creating is your own personalized carb code. And you are creating an aging beautifully and adventurous lifestyle based on what your needs are. As your body heals, it's all going to change and correct itself.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're living your health hobby now and you know how to do it.
Yeah.
You've got the reins and you're on, you know, you've got control and you're doing it. Is there anything as you would like to tell other women over 50 that could help them in their weight loss and health journey so they don't feel stuck and alone? Because so many people like
I
just
would
don't know what we can do.
I would
Information.
say that's exactly what I would say is that there is hope. Don't ever give up.
Yeah.
Never give up hope that but there, you need, I would say, it's hard to keep trying different things. It's hard to, and doing this program with you was a big leap of faith for me, because it wasn't inexpensive. So you got the money part, and we don't all have that kind of money laying around. So it's a sacrifice, but it's 100% worth it, a million times worth it. I would do it again in an instant. And, but no, I would just say you're not alone. And I think there's always hope, and
Yeah,
it's not
never quit.
always easy. It's not always
I
fun.
think I think the human spirit is resilient, and
Mhm.
women know that they can feel better if they could just figure out what is causing those blocks.
Yeah. And don't accept just the fact that you're getting older. Makes it
No,
way.
no. Menopause and getting older is not something that you have to accept as inevitable, because I didn't start my healing journey till I was 53, and you're just getting yours. And how old are you now?
56.
56. So you're just starting over too at 56,
Yeah. I
getting your
spent
best life back
my
starting as
40
yeah.
sick.
It's never too late. We can make changes in menopause, and sometimes we have more space to make changes in menopause.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
and I think it's wonderful that you've got the support of your husband who's also making his own changes, because I think that really makes a difference too when we have support in the household, because it is a family dynamic that also makes the success stick more, because he's there for you. Yeah.
You've helped both of us
Well,
together.
that's what I love about it. When you've got the support of your husband, they benefit too, which they don't realize at first until you get
Mhm.
into the program. And then all of a sudden the boomerang effect is it helps the whole family
Yeah,
overall. It
it's the ripple
ripples.
effect.
And
Yeah.
it can ripple down to your daughter, because now everything you're learning, you
Yeah.
can educate your daughter and help guide her so she
Mhm.
feels her best.
And my mother,
Oh my gosh, that's
by
great.
the way, is
Perfect.
82, and
Yeah.
she's doing her creatine and her
Yay.
aminos and
Perfect. Yeah, my mom too. I was over there for 2 weeks in Wyoming, and I'm like, okay, mom, why are you eating this?
yeah, yeah.
So she listens, but I just gave her, like, she was doing regular gluten-free granola, and one had wheat in it she didn't realize. And I just made one big switch, like, let's do keto granola. Let's do yogurt that has sugar that doesn't have sugar. And using those food bridges can be an easy solution to get you started when you're feeling stuck and overwhelmed and you don't want to make a food change because you feel good in the moment and you think that that's gonna, and if you
Yeah.
take that away, you feel like you might fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
Well, we just use, that's why the labs are so important, and why you work together with somebody like me is because then I know how to guide you once I get that information. And then it's easier with two rather than just one alone suffering. Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
No, you do not have to. Like
Yeah.
some days I haven't gone shopping since I came back from vacation, so there's no vegetables in my fridge. Like it isn't essential.
I
But
don't miss them, honestly.
right. I mean, sometimes I want them, and other times I'm just like, okay, that's too much
Yeah.
work. I'm not going to do them.
Although I do
Onions and garlics
garlic.
are critical, and we got to get that sulfur.
Yeah.
So, any last thoughts that I might have missed that you wanted to bring up to empower other women?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I think we covered it.
Yeah, yeah,
Just don't give up and reach out for help.
yeah, yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, Leslie, for your testimony, because I know it's really hard to have to go back on what we felt like and how we feel now. Like you almost started crying because there's hope finally.
It's happy tears.
Yeah, they're happy tears.
Yeah.
Exactly. All
Yeah.
right. Thanks a
All right.
lot.
Thank you.